Good afternoon. We have Bible study, agnostic Bible study. Is definitely not religious here. So just to clarify that. Don't fall for the brainwashing of the church and everything like that. A lot of people are indoctrinated at a young age and everything like that. I like the baptism. I don't really agree with baptizing your children because, like, I don't think how that makes sense because, like, it's not voluntary, and then a lot of kids are like just forced to do it by their parents. Like, it's not something that's their under their own volition, and essentially their parents are just forcing them to do it. And then once they become an adult, like, they might not agree with it or anything like that. So I'm personally glad I was not baptized because I definitely would not want to be like, oh yeah, sell your soul to Jesus or whatever it is. Like, trying to accept Lord Jesus, Santa Claus as your Lord and Savior and everything like that. It just seems kind of ludicrous. And so I feel like the church needs to adjust that, where if somebody does want to be baptized, at least let them do it when they're either 18 or 25 or like maybe even 30, or maybe once every 10 years or so to like renew it. So that way they can be more like uh, essentially where you can show that it's under your own cognition and your own way of thinking, and you're doing it because it's your own choice and not forced you to do it, or like your parents threatened to spank you when you're a kid, or like threatened to like take your Xbox away or whatever it is, or took away your phones. Like, you didn't get baptized, so you're gonna get punished. And be like, dude, I don't believe in this bullshit. And so yeah, so I just think it's really weird and just honestly like fucked up that people are forced to be baptized, especially when they're kids, when they have no other choice. And so it just seems pretty weird and convoluted, and it doesn't seem right. So just that's my piece on it. It doesn't seem like it's the proper way of going about it. So we are on page 45, chapter 33 of Genesis, and we're going to go ahead and I'll go through a sort of prayer. I don't really know what else to call it because it's not really, not trying to pray to a deity, because that doesn't really seems kind of weird to be praying to just air and stuff that doesn't exist. So it's kind of what I think every time I'm at church. Like, when people bow their heads, they're praying to God and stuff. I'm just like, who the hell are you guys talking to? And it's just seems very odd. Like, they're just talking to nothing. But I don't know. They feel like, and they somehow twisted their minds into believing that there's something out there listening to them. But anyway, this is maybe there's something else out there that's like the universe or something. Is maybe we can think certain things. Maybe it's beyond the imagination or something like that. Like, but unless it's able to be seen, heard, smelled, or just like at least like with the senses or something that we have equipped, like identified somehow, it just seems kind of not kind of, but definitely very odd that people would try to be praying to this like anthropomorphized sense of a deity or something like that. Anyway, so go ahead, page 45, chapter 33. We got a first I should come up with a word for this, but first sort of thing here. To the universe and quiet places within us, the mental stability and deep understanding needed to weather a world that feels increasingly fractured. As divisions deepen and collective reasoning falters, help us cut through the noise. As divisions deepen and collective reasoning falters, help us cut through the noise of outrage and delusion, guide humanity away from the self-destructive paths of rigid dogma and blind hostility, and awaken a collective sanity before our own flawed ways become our undoing. Give me the clarity to remain grounded amidst the chaos and help us foster a reasoned, empathetic dialogue that pulls us back from the edge. Yeah, I just wanted to go ahead. We have the introduction and conclusion prayers too, but I just want to go ahead and put that in there just because it seems like the whole entire world around me is like going crazy. And I don't know if it's just like happens to be the people I'm talking to and so everything like that. It seems like I'm literally the only sane person on the fucking planet, and trying to figure out a way to educate people and trying to figure out how to get them like, hey, the like aware of an objective truth, trying to get them like, grounded in reality, and so they're not just believing in fantasies and also just making a whole bunch of dumb assumptions and just operating based on either fallacy, lies, or just delusional ways of thinking. And it just seems really sad that no matter who I talk to and where I go, it just seems like people are just off. Like, and it seems like people are becoming more and more divided. And the world just seems super messed up. And it seems like it's going crazy. And I'm just super disappointed in the people. I just feel like they should be so much better, but like say on a simple level, like I imagine them like kind of like puppies, like kind of like dogs, where it's like there's certain things that they do intending to be good, and it's like I can appreciate that. Like I feel like a lot of people have good intentions, but when it comes to the things that really matter, like even people try to do the right thing, they seem to go the wrong way about it. And so like when people will give each other hugs and try to give each other gifts and do nice things for each other and everything like that, that's appreciated. Like I can definitely notice that and recognize that. So I recognize that some people have some good intent, but it just seems like overall people just seem lost. And we're trying to, my goal, and whoever's listening, there's nobody watching right now. Again, people are lost. Like it seems like so people aren't in the right spot, and so we're trying to figure out a way to get people back on the right path, or I don't know if they're ever on the right path in the first place, but just on a better path forward so we can cooperate and be as productive as we possibly can be, and be the most productive as we possibly can be. And seems like the world is experiencing a lot of chaos, and people just don't seem as capable of processing truth and objective thinking as they should be. And it's a big flaw in humanity. There's a lot of flaws in humanity, and I notice them every single day, every single time I notice, or every single time I talk to somebody. And but looking on the bright side, no souls beyond salvation, and no radicals beyond redemption, right? And so no matter how lost they may be, we can still shed some light, some truth on them, and show them the way back, or show them the way forward to where they need to go. And so that's what we need to do. And so trying to figure out how to help the world, man. Trying to figure out how to prevent them from dooming themselves and killing themselves off and just falling into complete anarchy. It's really sad. Just seeing people in the way they operate, seeing people in the news, seeing people that I meet in real life, and seeing people that like either I work with or just people just seem so delusional. But I like to maintain hope that they can be helped. And so I'm doing my best to be able to just help everyone live their lives better and think better. So we'll get there. Hopefully, at least I'm maintaining that hope. But humanity's been lost for fucking thousands of years, man. Maybe since the time we were originally conceived from nature. I just hate the fact that I was born in a world where people are just still so primitive and diluted by a bunch of thoughts. It's frustrating, but I know what my mission is. I know what my purpose is to be able to help people maximize benefits at minimum expense, to save the world, man. Be the hero. It's my job, man. All right. Anyway, I hope you found it. Page 45, chapter 33. Jacob and Esau meet. Jacob looked up and saw Esau coming, and he saw Esau coming, and with him 400 men. So he divided his children among Leah, Rachel, and the two maidservants, putting the maidservants and their children first, Leah and her children next, and Rachel and Joseph last. He himself went on ahead of them, bowing to the ground 7 times until he reached his brother. Esau ran to meet him, embraced him, and flinging himself on his neck, kissed him as he wept. Notice he put Rachel last. He put her as far away from the danger as possible. She was his favorite. Rachel must have been hot, at least according to that time, relative to how they would have been. Talking to somebody, and we are talking about how much people probably would have smelled back then, because this was like before perfume and colognes, and like when people were trying to conserve water, especially in the Middle East. I imagine people weren't like bathing all the time, so like, geez, kind of makes sense why it was such a big deal that Jesus supposedly, allegedly, went and washed like some guy's feet, or washing people's feet, because like people being clean, especially when they're so dirty and smelly back then. Like, if I were to time travel or something, I'm like, oh, I would not want to go back then. I imagine meeting Jesus. I'm like, dude, you fucking reek. Like, dude, you stank like a motherfucker. Probably full of a bunch of diseases and stuff that you wouldn't want to contract. And it's like, dude, stay the hell away from me, man. You got to take a damn shower first. You didn't brush your teeth. Your breath stinks. You need a Tic Tac because your breath stink. Shark reference. Oh shit. All right. Anyway, um, I guess it probably put extra emphasis on people showing affection to each other back then too, because like even if you smelled like really really badly, and people were like, oh, flinging himself at you, kissing your neck and stuff like that, like getting dirt and grime and sweat and stuff all over you, it's like, uh, gross. That's so fucking nasty. All right. Anyway, thank the universe for showers. Anyway, then Esau looked up and saw the women and children and asked, who are these with you? Jacob answered, they are the children with whom God has graciously favored your servant. Then the maidservants and their children came forward and bowed low. Next, Leah and her children came forward and bowed low. Lastly, Joseph and Rachel came forward and bowed low. Then Esau asked, what did you intend with all those herds that I encountered? Jacob answered, it was to gain my Lord's favor. Esau replied, I have plenty, my brother. You should keep what is yours. No, I beg you, said Jacob. If you will do me the favor, accept this gift for me, since to see your face is for me like seeing the face of God. Oh, so he's just saying, he wrestled some guy and said he saw the face of God. Now he's saying Esau saw the face of God. Like, I guess this guy sees the face of God everywhere, or at least he just says that. All right. Jacob sounds like a weirdo. And you have received me so kindly. Accept the gift that I have brought to you, for God has been generous toward me, and I have in abundance. Since he argued him, oh my God. Since he urged him strongly, Esau accepted. Then Esau said, "Let us break camp and be on our way. I will travel in front of you." But Jacob replied, "As my Lord knows, the children are too young, and the flocks and herds that are nursing are a concern to me. If overdriven for even a single day, the whole flock will die. Let my Lord then go before his servant, while I proceed more slowly at the pace of the livestock before me and at the pace of my children, until I join my Lord in Seir." Esau replied, "Let me at least put at your disposal some of the people who are with me." But Jacob said, "Why is this that I am treated so kindly, my Lord?" So on that day, Esau went on his way back to Seir, and Jacob broke camp for Succoth. There Jacob built a home for himself and made booths for his livestock. That is why the place was named Succoth. Jacob arrived safely at the city of Shechem, which is the land of Canaan, which is in the land of Canaan. When he came from Padan Aram, he encamped in the site of the city, the plot of the ground on which he had pitched his tent. He brought 100 pieces of money from the descendants of Hamor, the father of Shechem. He set up an altar there and invoked El, the God of Israel. All right, that's chapter 33. I think I might just read a chapter at a time, and that way I can kind of just delineate topics a little bit better. But we have a little bit of footnotes here, and so footnotes for chapter 33 from 33:1 to 33:20. The truly frightening confrontation seems to have already occurred in Jacob's meeting the divine stranger in the previous chapter. In contrast, this meeting brings reconciliation. Esau, impulsive but large-hearted, kisses the cunning Jacob and calls him brother. Jacob, in return, asks Esau to accept his blessing, giving back at least symbolically what he had taken many years before, and responding to Esau's erstwhile complaint, "He has taken away my blessing." Verses 12 through 17 show that the reconciliation is not total, and further that Jacob does not intend to share the ancestral land with his brother. Did he pay him back with interest? I would have wanted interest. It's like what you took originally plus all the time that have passed without him with it, you gotta have some interest paid. And I'm sure after 14, 18, 20 years or whatever since he's last seen him, like some interest has piled up. So you owe him big time, Jacob. And I guess Esau was sort of being forgiving and stuff like that, so he forgave him some of the debts. I don't know. You want true equality, and like Jacob definitely still owes Esau. 33:17, Succoth, an important town near the confluence of Jabbok and the Jordan. Booths in Hebrew, Sukkot, of the same sound as the name of the town. All right, pick back up on chapter 34. Let's go ahead and do these prayers here. Integrity, duty, and moral courage. May I find the steadfast courage to always stand for what is right, just, and compassionate, even when it is difficult or unpopular. Grant me the strength to speak truth with grace, and to listen with an open mind, and to act with unwavering fairness in all that I do. May my actions reflect a deep commitment to human dignity, equality, and the betterment of our shared community. A prayer for clarity, truth, and open minds. To the vast, unfolding universe, help me cultivate patience, empathy, and wisdom as I navigate conversations with those caught in rigid dogma. Provide subtle nudges of curiosity to those who are indoctrinated, gently dissolving fear and replacing it with a desire for objective truth. Open their minds to question inherited assumptions, to seek out evidence, and to find wonder in the actual, beautiful reality of the world rather than comforting illusions. Guide me to be a safe harbor for reason, kindness, and clear perspective for anyone seeking a path toward genuine understanding. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish there. Thank you so much for watching, all 0 people who are watching. Anyway, continue back on chapter 34.